Hi everybody, we have an Australian Labradoodle puppy litter update video for you. In today's video, we are going to tell you all about the milestones that these little mini Australian Labradoodles have met in their first week, and we are going to tell you a little bit about each individual puppy and give you an update on Mama Labradoodle Anise. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these are our mini Labradoodle puppies from the Anuenue litter. Anuenue means rainbow in Hawaiian, and as you can see, we have several different colors of puppies in this litter. Now, lots of times people wonder, well, how do we get these colors of puppies from two black parents? Well, that's because each parent in this litter, Bowie and Denise, they can make every color of puppy in the rainbow. So that is how we named the litter. So we have two black phantoms, and we have an apricot, a red, and we have an apricot party. And we have 5 girls. So these little puppies during the last week, they have done remarkably. If you watched our birth announcement video, then you know all about the fact that Anise's nipples are flush with her mammary glands. So when the puppies were first born, they weren't able to get on to nurse. So it required that we would come in, pinch the mammary glands to get the nipple to protrude just enough so we could get the puppy on there and get them nursing. So this has gone quite well. Anise has been very helpful. You can see she likes to show off her milk bar. She is very happy to be upside down quite a bit. And when she does this, it does make it easier for the puppies to find all the available spots to nurse. Now, Blue Collar is just in the wrong spot right now, so I'm just going to take her and I'm going to put her right at the very top here and see if this one is of any interest to her. So the puppies are a week old on Friday. Today's Friday, and yesterday, Thursday, when they were 6 days old, was the first time that they were able to go for a full 24 hours without us interfering with them at all. Now, sometimes because Anise is just a first-time mom, she needs to be reminded that when the puppies are nursing, we don't jump around and we don't do all sorts of fun activities. We just try to lie still. So we're working on that with Anise. She does actually just fine when we're not in here. But whenever someone's in here with her, she wants to play. She wants to go completely upside down, as she's just down now. And you'll see now that she's done that, all the puppies have come off except for Black. And then she'll turn back on again. So it's frustrating for the puppies, but this is a really good thing for the puppies as well, because this teaches them some fortitude, some tenacity, and the ability to be successful in the face of a challenge. So we try not to interfere. We try to leave them and let them sort themselves out as much as possible. Now, we do come and weigh the puppies fairly frequently to make sure that everything's going all right. But you don't have to actually weigh them to know. So we'll just take Pink Collar Girl here, and we'll use her as an example. Now, Anise is going to knock everything off. When we pick her up, we can tell just by the feel her tummy's full. And if you take a look at her tummy, there's no concave tummy here. She's nice, plump, juicy puppy. And she's telling me, excuse me, I do not wish to be in the air. I would rather be down finding some more to eat. So as long as their body condition is good, then we don't always weigh them. Little Silver Collar Girl, who's the tiniest one in the litter and who had the hardest time learning to latch on her own, I do weigh her still usually at least twice, if not 3 times a day. And I do still give her a hand during the day, making sure that she's getting what she needs. And I'll even, as I'm doing right now, push the other puppies off and tell them they're going to have to wait, like this one here, that's Black Collar, trying to get on here. I'm going to make sure that Silver's on. There we go, she's on, because she is the one who still needs to be sure all the time that she's nursing. The other ones, they'll get there when they need to, because they can do it on their own, and they can find other areas on the milk bar. So I just try to find the easiest spot for Silver and make sure that she's on there all the time. So it's been a little bit of extra involvement, but you can't complain, because what's more fun than hanging out with brand new puppies? These guys have done remarkably well, considering that it has been quite a challenge to be able to get nutrition from this milk bar of Anise's. Now, as for Anise herself, she's just fully recovered from having puppies. She's outside bebopping around, running around. She jumps about 3 feet in the air. She's very much like her grandma Ripple, who can spring and boink up in the air like a kangaroo. It's unbelievable how high she can go. And Anise has that same tendency. So she's out there running and playing and having a great time. But she's also very mindful that she does have babies, and she does come back in fairly quickly. She'll stay outside for about 10 minutes. She'll rip around. She comes and she makes sure she checks everything out. She really enjoys sniffing everything, finding out what's gone on overnight. Was there a rabbit through the yard, a deer, what's going on? She says hi to everybody. She strolls around with me for a bit, and then she's back up to the door and waiting, asking Reynold to let her back in with the babies. And see, she does this. This is what she does so often, which is hard for the puppies because they can't always hang on when she turns herself upside down like that. So there we got little Silver now, just in the course of this video, has been on 3 different teats trying to get herself something to eat. You'll see Blue Collar here has just come off and is rooting around, and that's because the place he was at has now run out of milk. So one of the things we did when Anise had her milk bar like this was we put cabbage on her to make sure she didn't get any hard spots from having too much milk and the puppies not nursing as much as they normally would. So that reduced her milk supply quite effectively. However, now that everybody's nursing and doing really well, we want to increase that milk supply again, because now it's a little bit short of what we would like to see it at. So to do that, we give her a natural herb that's called fenugreek. And this is used for women as well to increase their milk supply. It's all natural, it's 100% safe and fine to use. And it smells like maple syrup. So what you do is you just sprinkle it on top of her food, and when she starts to smell like maple syrup herself, then we know that we have given her enough and that her milk production is going to start to increase. The other thing that increases the milk production is just the fact that the puppies are suckling, and that stimulates the milk supply to be increased. So I would say hopefully by next week that we're going to be back up at our full levels. But even though it looks like she doesn't really have any milk, she clearly has enough to support them all, as everybody's weights are going up quite nicely. And pretty much everyone has doubled their birth weight in this first week, and that's always our goal. Now, the other things that we give are, one of the things that we give to Anise from time to time is this Oral Cal Plus. So this is a pasty gel, and it's calcium and vitamin D primarily. And when the girls are whelping, they get this after each puppy is born. That helps the uterine muscles to contract more strongly. After they're born, while their hormones are still all out of whack, and they sometimes have episodes where they're very, very anxious or they dig too much. So we will give them a shot of this again then. Calcium is a bit of a miracle item when it comes to dogs. Settles them down, gets their hormones properly balanced. The other thing that Anise gets each day is this Propectin, and this is a probiotic, a pre-probiotic. And again, it's just a little pasty gel, and she gets it once a day. We just give her the 2 clicks of it, and it's just administered like this. You just open up her mouth, squirt it in, and then she makes quite a production. What's that? And then I usually ask her to clean it off for me, so when I put the cap back on, it doesn't stick. And that's just to, again, because whelping is something that gets your whole system out of whack. That helps her tummy be in really good shape. It makes sure that her stools are nice and firm and she's not constipated, no diarrhea, and everything goes well. And if you'll just take a look at her coat, you can see she has a beautiful gleaming, rich coat. No hair loss. She's not skinny at all. I can't even feel her ribs. She has a little bit more cover than what you would do with a dog who was not working as a breeding dog. But you can see her coat is just absolutely gorgeous. Soft, shiny, and that's what we want to see in our girls when they've had their puppies. We don't want to ever see a dog whose coat is skimpy or hair loss or a dull coat. Those things all indicate that there's a lack of good nutrition and a lack of internal reserves in the mama to deal with feeding their puppies. Hey, what a good girl you are. Yes. And then the puppies themselves get this, which is called Benebat Plus. And this is also a pre-probiotic. Again, all of these items are 100% natural. This is just to help the babies to make sure that their tummies are nice and comfy and doing well, and we don't have any episodes of diarrhea with the babies. Puppy diarrhea is something that's really common, and you can lose a puppy very quickly because puppies can become hypoglycemic in just a matter of minutes. They have very, very immature immune systems, so all the help they can get is great. And there we go. There. And this as well is administered just with a little bit. You just put a little tiny dab on your finger. It's not very scientific because I don't measure it. I just do it by eye. You take the puppy and you just open up their mouth and you pop it onto the roof of their mouth. And there you go. That puppy's all done. So we do that once a day as well. So all of that is just to help the puppies and mom just be as healthy and do as well as they can, because this is a critical time for all of them. New life is fragile, and puppies are tough, and it's amazing how much they can withstand. You can handle them without being hugely gentle and they'll be just fine. Sometimes when they're nursing and Anise stands up like she just did, they'll still be attached and they'll bang on the side of the railing here and you think, oh my goodness, and they'll let out a but they're totally fine. So they're a lot tougher than they look. So the other things we're doing with the puppies right now all relate to getting them to learn that people are good, people can be trusted, and also for us to start to learn a little bit more about each individual puppy. So during the day, we take the puppies. We'll take this one who's singing right now. This is Pink Color Girl. We'll take the puppies, and for a few seconds, we'll do something with them that wouldn't normally happen to them. So for instance, we'll take them and we'll turn them upside down like this. You can see Pink Color Girl is completely fine with this. Her legs are not stiff. She's just relaxed. Everything is okay. And then the other thing we'll do is we'll hold them with their heads down like that. And there we go. And that's about the extent of it. Hello, sweetheart. Hi, there's a good girl. Because we're making the video, we have the whelping box door open, and Anise can see through the glass door and see Callie. So I'll just get Reynolds to maybe close that door over a little bit and make him squish in a little. There we go. And then that just helps everybody be a bit more at ease. Callie is pregnant and she's going to be in here sharing this maternity ward with Anise soon enough, next week sometime. Hello, baby. So the other thing we do with the puppies is we hold them right up close to us. And this way, even though they can't hear when we're talking, they feel our chest vibrations. They also get to know who we are because they learn our scent. Because the only thing that's working right now with the puppies is their sense of smell. All their other senses are not available to them at the moment. Their ears are sealed shut, and their ears will remain sealed shut for at least the first 3 weeks. Oh, that I know. So they make all these noises, but they can't hear what they're saying. And of course, their eyes are closed. Now, between week 1 and week 2 is when we expect to start seeing the eyes open up. Usually, the earliest we see is day 12-ish, and sometimes they wait until day 16-ish. But when we do our 2-week update next week, I expect we'll have some open eyes to show you. Yeah, so the only thing the puppies have is their sense of smell, and their nose have these little heat detectors in them. So that's how they find one another and how they find the milk bar. And that's why when I'm in here, they think I'm the milk bar, because they can sense the heat from my body, and so they're naturally drawn to me. Oh my goodness, Miss Pinky's got quite a lot to say there. I put her down for just a minute there, let her find her friends. She's probably still hungry because that was an interrupted feeding episode there. So sometimes when the puppies are feeding, one or two of them will not eat as much as the other three. And so you'll find that those ones will come back and they'll be more hungry. And you may find them that they're complaining, saying, hey, Mom, how about you feed us? As for Anise, she eats really quite nicely. She's eating a little less than I would like her to, but that's all right. We let her be the guide there. So she's still eating about 3 times what she would normally eat. So she's eating our Puppy Love freeze-dried food. She wants to play. And she's eating Stella and Chewy's freeze-dried and Stella and Chewy's frozen. So we mix them all up, we combine them, we change them around. Sometimes she wants me to feed her by hand, which I will do if she really wants me to. Other times she eats entirely on her own. But she does like me to be in here in the box with her, and she wants the dish in the box. And when the dish is finished, it must go out. It can't stay in. She gets very upset if you leave it in. Now you see she's got some desire to have the side of her face rubbed. Moms get so many mats and such a mess in the side of their mustache and beard when they are looking after their puppies, because moms clean up all of the puppies' elimination. There is no pee and poo that is left in the box. They eat it all. They lick the puppies in their genital area and their anal area to stimulate them to go, and then they consume all of that. It's a really efficient way, if they were out in nature, to make sure that there was no signs that there were puppies. There'd be no scent left. I'm glad it's not my job, but it makes our job easier. There's not a lot of cleanup to do until about week 3, and then they start going, well, maybe you could do some of this for me. And then by the time they move out, when their ears and eyes are open and we move them into the doodle den, then it becomes our job. But for the first little while, Mom does everything. So let's go through all the puppies now. And what we're going to do is go through each of them in order with their birth weights we'll talk about, and we'll tell you a little bit about their color and their pattern. Now, if you're one of the lucky families on the list for this litter, you are going to be getting a video this week as well about how to get your house ready for bringing your puppy home. So it's just the main things for you to start working on. You've got another 7 weeks until the puppies come home. So it's mostly how to start getting your house prepared for the puppy, things to start thinking about, where is there going to be a puppy-free zone. If you've got children, getting them used to closing their bedroom door if they don't pick everything up in their room, and I don't think too many kids do. Things like that. So it's a great time to get started. Start gradually easing into changing your routine. You don't have to change your life to have a puppy. The puppy should be complementing your life, not complicating your life. But you do have to make a few changes in your life to accommodate when you have a very young puppy. So things like where we're going to put the TV remote control, because maybe you have it on your coffee table now. Well, it won't be long before your puppy is well able to get her paws on the coffee table, find that remote control and eat it, because I can tell you remote controls and cell phones are 2 of the most popular items for puppies to eat, along with shoes. So all little things like that. So you'll find all that information in the video, and we'll send that link out to you later in the week. We'll let you just enjoy the puppies for now. So we're going to do the puppies in birth order, and that will be what we do for each of our videos, so that it's always the same. I'm just going to see if Anise is going to settle down here for a minute before we get going. Let her find a spot. No, okay, she's going to stand up. So we're going to start with Pink Collar, who we were looking at just a moment ago. So little Pink Collar girl is our firstborn girl, and she is a black phantom. So you can't see too much of her markings on her face here. There's a little bit of the tan here, but you can definitely see it on her paws. So she's not what I would call a strongly marked phantom, but she definitely is a phantom. And little Pink Collar girl now weighs 423 grams. So she's just this close to having doubled her birth weight. This little girl is a talker, as you heard. She always is telling us when she needs something. She's very good at finding her spot at the milk bar, and she's quite an independent little girl. If she gets removed from the rest of the group, she doesn't tend to get too excited about it. She finds her way back easily, so she does some good problem solving already. So that's our little pink collar girl. And then next we have black collar girl. Now black collar girl is right here. Hello, sweetheart. Now, if you're wondering what these collars are, these are actually the elastics for COVID masks. They're really nice and small, and they're really soft, really easy to adjust. So that's what we have switched to from the ones that we used to use, which after COVID seemed to be made in a different way, and they became a little bit harder and less flexible. So that they were making sores on the puppy's shoulders here. So we switched to these, and they seem to work quite well. We do have to change them a lot because they really get dirty fast. So this little lady here, Adele, my little sweet, do you want to say hi? Can you show us her little pretty face? There we go. This is going to be an apricot. And now, why is she an apricot and not a red? It's just the hue of the color. It's the lighter golder color, so that makes her an apricot. And now how do I know she's an apricot and not a caramel? Well, you can see already her nose is starting to fill in. Can you imagine that they make that much noise when they're that little? They're quite bossy when they're trying to tell Anise they want to eat. You can see her nose is filling in a little bit, and the filling in color is black. And also, if we look right here on her pads, you can see already the one that's changed, that isn't pink, is black. Now you can see we're going to do a little bit of upside down with her. There we go. There we go. Because what I want her to do is go upside down and not be struggling. I want her to be comfy. And at the same time, you can see all her pretty white markings. And Miss Black Collar Girl is 368 grams. So she too is almost doubled her birth weight. Our goal is for them to double their birth weight within the first 10 days. So all of these puppies are going to make that milestone without any problem. There we go. Next is our little Hi-Ho Silver Girl. This is the little girl who steals everyone's heart because she is so tiny. She still fits in one hand. She is now 273 grams. So she has not quite doubled her birth weight, but she is very close to having doubled her birth weight. And she too is a black phantom, but she's a tri. Because if you look on her here, you can see there's lots of white, and of course she has the pretty white on her face there. This little girl is just like so many of the small puppies in our litters. She's feisty, she's confident, and she is determined. And it's great because otherwise we would have had a lot of trouble getting her to gain the weight that she needed to. But she's done just beautifully. So that's our little silver collar girl. Oh my goodness, Miss Pink is really crying us a river there. Next is Purple Collar Girl. Now Purple Collar Girl, before I pick her up, you can see, so this is black, who's the apricot, and this is purple, who is a red. And then blue is also apricot, because you can see the color on blue is the same as on Black Collar Girl. So it's really just a matter of the hue and the darkness of the color. So this pretty little lady here is a gorgeous little red and white Australian Labradoodle. She has very pretty markings, all symmetrical. You can see her nose is filling in with that pretty black nose that she's going to have. She's going to be a real head turner, this one. And Purple Collar is 429 grams. She has already more than doubled her birth weight. She is very good at eating, very good. Oh my goodness, poor little Pink is having quite a lot of sorrow there. Oh my goodness, she's really telling us a story. I think Pink is going to be the communicator in this litter. And then our last puppy in the litter is Blue Collar Girl, who is our little apricot party girl. Beautiful, beautiful markings on this little lady. All sorts of gorgeous color on her. She has a beautiful head, beautiful, nice broad head, high ears, and you can see her little black nose is already filling in too. And as she gets older, the apricot color around her eyes here, this will become darker and more predominant. Her color will darken as time goes on, and you can see she has quite big feet. This is the biggest girl in the litter. She's 480 grams already. She has more than doubled her birth weight. She is strong, she is robust, and she is like a little tank. You can see how sturdy she is, and I can still barely fit her in one hand, but we get a paw falling out there, and we'll get her to go upside down. But you can see that this is a really thick bone baby girl. She's a very, very sturdy little girl. So pretty. Now, I do talk funny to them. I make faces at them. And as I said, they can't hear anything I'm saying. They can't see my face. But it's just a habit because I do it to them all the time. And like I said, they get all sorts of messages from how we handle them. So just the fact that you handle them kindly, softly, give them lots of warning before you pick them up. Those are all important things so that right from day one they learn people are good, people are safe. So that's our puppies from the Anuenue litter. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them in the comments below. Or if you have any other things you would like to say, we'd love to talk about Labradoodles. If you enjoyed the video and have a moment, please give us a thumbs up. And if you're subscribed, make sure you click the little bell icon so you get a notification every time one of our videos comes out. And thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.